I can't wait to show you my toys.
Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Taking a look at the DST or Diamond Select Toys John Wick action figure. Now this is John Wick from the first film. As you can see, this guy's in that oversized DST packaging, which seems completely unnecessary since this guy does not come with a diorama piece. As you can see, this guy's in his black and white suit. He's bloodied up face. He comes with several different guns. I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns at least. He's got the assassin's coin. He's got his dog. Kind of sad looking at that thing. And overall, looking to be a pretty cool figure. Little bit late though. This movie's been out for a few years now. Mafex made their figure probably at least a year ago. DST is quite late to the party. They are making a John Wick from Chapter 2 as well. Once again, a couple years late. So let's check out the packaging here. As you can see, John Wick, deluxe action figure with accessories. Here he is on the side, bladed up face. Other side, nothing going on. Bottom, nothing going on. And then here we go on the back side. Really just shows the figure and the dog. Little description of the guy. So with no further ado, let's open this guy up. Alright, well now that we got this guy out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. And he comes with a good amount of weapons. You can see he's got a total of 5 guns, 2 pistols, and 3 other very large weapons. He comes with a knife. He has his dog. And he also has a life-size assassin's coin. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. So as you can see here, got Keanu Reeves' likeness. His face is kind of beat up. I did ask Diamond Select if they were going to come with an alternate head, and he said no. He only had the blooded up head when wearing the suit in the film, so I decided not to have 2 heads. I would have preferred to have had a clean look as well. As you can see, he's got his black jacket, his white shirt, he's got his tie on here. See his belt, his slacks, got his dress-up shoes. This guy is tall. This guy's a freaking giant. Diamond Select toys are generally pretty tall, but this guy's exceptionally large. He reminds me of Bullock from the Gotham DST line. So next, let's check out his actual accessories. Let's go and start off by looking at his assassin's coin. Here is one side. Here is the other side. Now in the film, you would be able to earn these by fulfilling tasks and use them accordingly. I remember he used one to stay at a hotel. I believe he earns them for killing people. He had like a briefcase buried in his basement full of these things. Clearly he's been doing this for a long time. This is life-size though, so it fits for you or me, but it's really kind of irrelevant for the action figure. So next, let's go ahead and check out his dog. Now I must say, this kind of brings up some sad feelings about the movie. It was kind of sad what happened to the dog, but John Wick did get his revenge. So this thing here, I mean, it looks nice, cute little puppy, has 0 articulation whatsoever. You can see a lot of different colors. We've got the brown, black, white, a little bit of stuff in between here. And then here's his dog next to several other recently released dogs that I've gotten from my action figure collection. From left to right, the very first one is from Westworld. The next one is from this John Wick figure. The next one is from the Mafex John Wick Chapter 2 figure. The next one is from NECA Alien 3, the Rottweiler. And the last one there is from DC Collectibles. It's Ace the Bat Hound from Batman Beyond. Next, let's check out his weapons. Let's go and start off by looking at his knife. As you can see here, it's got some decent sculpt on it. The base here, larger handle, a little bit of sculpt on there, kind of got a button. You can see the blade is out there, looking pretty good. Here he is holding this knife. I must say it doesn't fit that great in his hand. You gotta kind of bounce it in there. His hand is not very tight. He doesn't have any alternate hands, but he can hold his weapons okay. Next, let's check out his pistols. He does come with 2 of them. As you can see here, the one on the right is in its sort of holster. The one on the left is not. They are different. As you can see, the handles are not the same. Now, I must confess, I don't understand why they gave us this. It has this sort of rectangle on the side. Almost feels like it should attach to him somehow. It has a little piece sticking out at the bottom. But for the life of me, I cannot figure out anywhere this would attach on the figure. So it kind of makes me ask the question, why do we even have this? And then here he is holding his pistol, aiming it straight for us. This guy here can do all kind of cool stuff with this pistol, hanging up on the side of his head, like he's going around the corner. This guy is an expert with all kind of weapons. And if you want to, he can hold this other gun either by the handle or by the sheath like he's picking it up. Now he can hold it like this, but it just looks kind of odd. This side here is completely flat and has no real detail. And then this side here, unfortunately, I just cannot figure out what we're really supposed to do with it. I do feel like I'm just not getting it. So here is 3 other weapons. And I must say I couldn't tell you exactly what these weapons are called, but I remember he had a huge arsenal in the movie, just took everything out. So here he is with the first of those 3 weapons. As you can see, he can use his right hand on the trigger and his left hand to support the weapon. Overall, looking pretty good. He's going to go in and mess some stuff up. And then here he is with his second weapon. This is a machine gun. As you can see, once again, he can hold it with his right hand on the trigger and his left hand supporting it. Overall, looking great. Getting ready to blast up some fools. And then here he is with his last weapon. Nice scoped weapon, pretty large. Once again, he can use 2 hands to hold it. And honestly, this thing looks really, really nice. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at his accessories, next let's check out the height of this figure. And like I said before, this is a big boy. This guy is super tall. I know Diamond Select toys in general are pretty tall, but this guy is in the tallest bunch of them. So from bottom to top, this guy's sitting at a good 7.5 inches, which translates to about 19 centimeters. Next, let's take a look at this guy's articulation. So, of course, his head here, it can go from side to side. It can look down about that far, up really not too much. Shoulders go out a full 90 degrees. There's a ball joint inside of there. Then go up, down, around, whole 9 yards. He's got a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. Then you go completely up. The wrist, of course, it can swivel around and looks like it's hinged as well. He's got sort of a ab crunch or swivel up here, go from side to side, and it can move in and out a little bit. He's got a traditional waist swivel below that, simply going around. I keep looking at this thing like it's the pistol supposed to attach that somehow, but it just does not seem to do so. It's really just nothing you can do with this pistol as far as I can tell. I mean, it almost looks like it should fit around this thing, but it just doesn't. Legs go out full 90 degrees, no problem at all. You go forward, about that far, back, decent amount. He's got double jointed knees here, and then go all the way back. His foot can go forward and back, up and down, no toe articulation. They can tilt and rock quite a bit. They really can't rotate around. You got the tilt and rock instead of that. Oh, yes they can. Looks like the top of that swivels around. That's pretty cool. So it has the ability to go up and down, rock, and tilt and rotate. Everything you could ever want in some action figure feet. Next, let's test this guy out compared with some other action figures. We'll start off by looking at him compared with some other DST or Diamond Select Toys figures from a bunch of different various lines. Now, if you need a suited body, this is a great suited body. Sure, this guy's got the bloodied up John Wick head, and you know, that's fine. Some guy, gangster, just been in a fight the day after, he's looking kind of rough in his suit. A lot of uses for this guy. My point to that is, if you need a regular suited body and you're interested in a 7+ inch scale, this is your guy. Not too expensive right now, pretty good quality, pretty massive. And before we look at him next to his Diamond Select Toys brothers, here he is next to all the different John Wick figures that I have. On the left here, we've got John Wick from Chapter 1, basically the Mafex equivalent of this Diamond Select guy here. This Mafex one did come with 2 different alternate heads, so it's nice to be able to have a cleaned up head version. And then of course, this last John Wick here is the Mafex version of John Wick from Chapter 2. Diamond Select should be releasing theirs sometime in the near future. Here he is next to some Gotham figures from DST. As you can see, John Wick and Bullock are pretty similarly heighted. John Wick is arguably one of the biggest action figures that I have. Here he is next to the recently released Westworld figures from Diamond Select. Look at the difference between John Wick and this Anthony Hopkins figure right here. Huge difference. And actually I looked up the height of the actors and there's something like a 4-inch difference between them. So a little inconsistent across the lines, DST. And here he is next to both some Sin City and Pulp Fiction figures, also from Diamond Select Toys. And here he is next to a couple figures from Dark Tower, as well as Ghostbusters, once again from Diamond Select. Here he is next to 4 different various lines from McFarlane Toys. And here he is next to some NECA action figures. Here he is next to some DC Collectibles and DC Direct action figures. And then here he is next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then here he is next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And now here he is next to some Mafex action figures. And here he is next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends action figures. And then here he is next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. So overall, this is a very nice action figure. His articulation is on point. His sculpt is great. He is big, tall, beefy. As you can probably tell from the comparisons, I'm a huge sucker and lover for suited action figures. Can use them for civilians, thugs, mobsters, actually for John Wick. A lot of uses for this guy in my action figure world. I will say, this guy is super tall. That is probably a complaint of mine, and honestly, usually it's the bigger the better on my action figures. This is probably in the top 2 percentile of action figures, size-wise, that I have. I mean, he's a full 7.5, almost 7.6 inches. This is a big boy, even compared with other Diamond Select action figures. If I were to rate this guy, I'd go and give him a 7 out of 10. His height maybe deters him from being a 7.5. It didn't hurt him that much, but I do like the figure. He moves great. He looks pretty good. He could sure use an alternate cleaned up head, an alternate hand that isn't stuck in a trigger finger, but I'm happy for what we got. We did get a lot of accessories with this guy. I bet they originally planned to give us some more stuff, but cost-wise had to bring it down. This guy doesn't have a diorama piece. It seems like Diamond Select Toys is kind of steering away from that, and honestly, kind of miss that. I'm really happy to finally have his dog from the first film. The Mafex John Wick for the first film did not come with this dog, but the one from the second film did, so it's cool we finally got both the dogs. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.